Hi, this is Alfredia with Pursuing Greatness and Legacy Coaching. Thank you for joining in today. I'm always glad to have you here. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, or comment. So, Legacy Coaching and Pursuing Greatness is a platform that we use here on our podcast for individuals who need help pursuing their vision, dreams, and ideas. So, whatever that may be, we give you the systems to put in place to help you accomplish that and to bring those ideas to reality. And as promised, I said that I will have periodically guests on so that you can see that there are people just like you that have pursued their dreams, vision, and put into place their business ideas. So today I have Tanya Archibald. Tanya is a very great friend and dynamic woman of God, but she and her husband together, I never seen a couple like them ever. They complement each other, they love on each other, but most of all, they are in partnership together. So they own Great Lake Property Management Group. Tanya is a realtor. I met her in church, but she's a realtor, and for 25 years, I was a realtor. And so she and her husband are investors. They have been great assets to the Detroit metro area and to the community of Detroit and to so many people like myself, because there's never been one thing that I've asked them to do that they've not done to help me. So today I want to introduce Tanya Archibald from Great Lake Property Management Group. And thank you, Tanya.
Thank you, Alfredia. Oh, it is such an honor to be here, and I am just very humbled to share this platform with you.
Oh, thank you. And you and your husband are just so humble. You are humble people. So to get started, you and your husband met in college at Purdue University, right? Got married and ended up in Michigan, right? And so explain to us, because you guys have a very unique story.
Yes.
Now, your husband, you guys had lucrative careers, right?
Yes.
Always been entrepreneurs, you said, and even in your business career, right? Working for corporate America. So share with us what made him make the decision, first of all, to leave, and then tell us, when did you make the decision to join him?
Awesome. Again, I just want to thank you for allowing me to be here. And yes, so my husband and I always say that I did get something out of we went to Purdue University, and we both are engineering students, and we graduated both with electrical engineering degrees. So I always say I did get something out of Purdue. Not only a degree, I got my husband.
You got your husband, yes.
But, I would say early on, even in college, we had the entrepreneur type mindset. So we actually took sales class and entrepreneurship classes back then, which was very back. That was in in the 90s, early 90s. So that was very unique.
Yes.
So again, we went on, got married, started our lives. We got the good, as they would say, good corporate jobs. I was engineering. I always say I was the real engineer, and he was in engineering sales. He worked for, we both worked for Fortune 500 companies. And I would be remiss to say that I valued working. I say, so I would never take that away. So because my company and his company allowed us to provide. So it was a season and a time for that. But that we knew that was not the only stop for us. One of the things that we loved and we talked about and was freedom. Freedom meaning being able to, have the funds and do what we want to without having to ask somebody else to do it. So with the young family, we realized we wanted that flexibility and that what we call freedom. We didn't want to have to ask our boss, could we go and go to our kids' basketball game, cheerleading game. We did not want to be confined. So, but I would always also like to say it didn't happen overnight. And that's what I want to tell people is this was a long-term goal, not a short-term goal. So while we were in corporate, and it's so funny, I was a manager, and I would even tell my staff, you have to have multiple streams of income.
Yes. My
You
God.
can't just rely on here, because all of us are disposable. One day we're here and one day we're not.
Wow.
And I'm so thankful and grateful to say that some of my team members listened,
Oh.
and they went on to
Wow.
be entrepreneurs, or even if they were not, their spouses were.
Yeah.
And so guess what? The time came where we had to let people go. And so, but for me, my husband, again, our family is growing. Our family is there. We wanted to spend time with our family. We wanted the flexibility. We wanted the time. We wanted the freedom.
Yeah.
So as we were building our business, and again, our business now is real estate, but that's not what it started off with. We were in multi-level marketing. We had a restaurant. We had a catering business.
Oh my
we had a
gosh.
personal
Come
chef.
on, Tanya.
So we had it. So,
I
but
love
guess
it.
what? And I always say failure it helped us, because as you can see, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So I always say with the restaurant, for me, it was great. I think it was a dream that my dad wanted me to have, and I wanted to fulfill, because he was a chef.
Yes.
But I did it, but it didn't work out. But guess what? I learned so
Praise
many
God.
things from it.
Yes.
So all our skills are
Absolutely.
transferable. So
Absolutely.
whatever journey we're going through, we can use that and learn from it. And so that's what I want to say.
Yeah.
So when my husband left, he left in 2006.
Left his job,
Left
not
his
your
job.
marriage.
No,
Okay.
Thank you. Well, that's another topic that we got to talk about. Yes,
Amen.
but so he left corporate in 2006, and the decision was because we wanted to spend. We wanted to be there for our kids and everything that they needed to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but that meant I still had my income. So our family thought that we were crazy, I can say, but they didn't think that we were that crazy, because I still had my job.
Yeah.
And so in 2006, so remember, 2006 he left. We're doing okay. You know, it still was we did not lack. We did not go without.
Yeah.
And that's what I said, God, we stepped out on faith, and God's provided. But it was not easy.
Yes,
There were some
that's right.
sacrifices that we had to make, but we made it through.
You did it.
And that was in 2006. What happened in 2008?
Oh my God, girl, listen.
Ah!
Oh my God, the whole doggone state shut
Yes,
down.
yes, real estate. It was that real estate. And so again, I still had my corporate job.
Yeah.
My husband had left his corporate job, but we were building our real estate business. At that time, we had it was doing great from 2006 to 2008. He was traveling, getting a lot of people to invest here in the city of Detroit. At the time, our company got the Spirit of Detroit Award for building communities. That was back before the boom. So now, think about it.
Yeah.
I have my job, he doesn't have a job, real estate crashes.
Yeah.
And that's what we were building. So guess what? We had to start all over.
Yes.
And what I can say is a lot of our clients at the time, everybody got out the real estate market.
Yeah.
Most people got out. All our clients, everybody's just said, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. But we stayed in.
Yes.
And we stayed in.
Yeah.
And I just thank God for keeping us.
Yes.
And it was not an easy time.
Yeah.
I could say some of my credit score went from 700 to 0.
That happens.
Because we had a lot, because at that time we were renting and everything was upside down.
Yes,
the
absolutely.
banks did not, we tried to work with the banks, and there
Yeah.
were some that worked with us and some that didn't.
That's
so
right.
again, I'm exaggerating, but my credit took a real
Oh, of
hit.
course,
Everything
of
took a
course,
hit.
of course.
But at that time, we were saving and saving. So at that time, cash was king. So
Yeah.
we were able to get a lot of the properties for pennies on the dollar
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
And so that was a blessing. So from, go ahead.
No, so I was going to say, let me just stop you for a second, because I want people to really hear, right, to know that when you step out on faith, nobody ever said that it was going to be easy, right? And even when you fell forward, right? And you took those experiences that you had and you brought them over into your businesses and what you're doing now, right? Because I always tell people that you have more than one testimony, right?
That's right.
You have more than one experience in
Yes.
life, right? And so you take all those experiences and put them all together, and then they lead you to where you're supposed to be, right? And so you said that, and I always say that even when you give your life to Christ, even when you trust God, even, you know, in your ventures and you out there on faith, nobody ever said, you know, it's going to be easy, because it's not. It'll be easier because you know who your source is, right? And so now back to where you are now, and today where you guys are now. You guys went through the crash in the real estate business in 2008. You fought your way back through, right? And so when you fought your way back through and you began to rebuild, how did you manage to do that and kind of decide that you were going to stick with it? What made you make that decision?
I would have to say it was nothing but God. I'm telling you, we stepped out on faith. We just knew God had shown us that He showed us our promise. Our promise was freedom.
Okay.
And He showed us that.
Wow.
And the Bible says, work without faith is dead. And so we had the faith.
Yeah.
But we had to still put in the work.
That's right.
And we did not give up. So the circumstances and the world told us that we should just he should just pack his bags and go back to corporate. But we knew what God had promised us.
Wow.
So we just stayed and we just kept our faith and we kept trusting God and we kept building and building and I think back. And one big thing is to have goals. You know, that's one thing that we do. We sit down. And what's unique about us is that we are a partnership. We are husband and wife and a partner, which you know is a challenge in itself. But God, so we put our goals down, and even though they were hefty, we broke the goals up. So we were saying 2 houses at a time, 3 houses at a time. And when I look back, I think about from 2008 to 2010.
Okay.
I left corporate.
Okay.
So market crash. Everything, you know, supposed to be gloom. But from 2008 to 2010, we stayed at it. Wow. We stayed in faith. We stayed trusting God. And at that time, He said it's time. Now, was I able to replace all of my income? No, but I replaced enough to say. And one of the things He also asked me, do you want freedom, or do you want the word stability?
Yes.
Do I want freedom or stability? Most people thought that corporate at the time for me was stability. But you want to know what I told them? I wanted both. So I can tell you, it was scary. I will not tell you that it wasn't scary. But we trusted God, and at that time, God had shown me to leave corporate before I left. He showed me, but I didn't act on it. And so what God said, you know what? We gonna shake some things up.
Go ahead, God.
We gonna shake it up. I am not, you know, I've already told you. You didn't act on it, so now I'm gonna shake it up. So at that time, we started going through a merger.
Okay.
And they were able to. I had the ability to stay, but I was gonna have to do a lot of traveling, a lot of everything, which still took me away from what I knew God wanted me to do. And so. He made it so uncomfortable for me during that merger. He made it uncomfortable.
Go ahead, God.
He made it uncomfortable. That I said, okay, God, you got a sense of humor. It ain't feeling good. It ain't feeling good right now, but I'm going to trust you. And I would say back at that point, it was full ahead. And
Yeah.
then one of the things, so right now, Great Lakes Property Management Group, we are a full service
Yeah.
real estate company, and we consult, we manage, property manage, we do rehabs. We, so we have a lot of that under our umbrella.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I look at now is we thought it was for me, but God said this is for my kingdom.
Yes.
So
yes.
we realized
Yeah.
that, and because we're investors, we could kind of step away with what we're doing and be okay. I'm
Yeah.
not saying
Yeah.
we whatever,
Yeah.
but we can be a little
Yeah.
bit okay.
Yeah.
But that's not where the story ends, because it's
Yes.
not about
Yeah.
Clarence and
That's
Tanya
right.
and Great Lakes.
That's right.
It's about, and what we're happy to say is that we hire people in our community,
Yes.
for our community.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
95% of our contractors and employees live and work in the in the
Yeah.
city. So
Yeah.
we're building. There's some people that wasn't given a chance
Yes.
to work
Yeah.
at a regular W-2 job, just for many different
Yes.
reasons.
Yeah.
And now they get a check. They can go buy that house. They can go buy that car.
Yeah.
And so we're putting
Yeah.
back in the community. And also we're working with organizations to help house people.
Yes.
So it's not about us.
Yes.
It's
Never
about
is.
God's work.
Never is.
And so
Never
this is, we
is.
say that this is
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
just a job, it's
That's
our
right.
ministry.
That's right, absolutely.
And so that,
Yeah.
so thankful for that.
And what I want to say is because we have had a pastor. I mean, we love him so much, right? And he imparted so much wisdom into us, right? Always wanted us to be entrepreneurs. Always wanted us to own something. Always, he didn't want us to just look at him, right? And his success.
And his
He
success.
wanted us to be successful. And those of us who kind of like attached ourselves to that, we took it and we ran with it, right? And so he taught us that whatever it is and whatever God give us, it's not just for us. There's a big picture, right? And so he said, save some, invest some, and give some away,
some
right?
away.
And so you and Clarence are the epitome of that. I just have to say it, because you guys, I'm telling you, and I see it with my own eyes, that you help people know. I hear you sometimes, you'll say, I told Clarence we shouldn't have done that, but he said go ahead, and I went ahead and I did it, right? And it's that between the two of you guys. It's the love for one another, the respect for one another, right? And the togetherness. Because the one thing he don't have to worry about you doing is going out and buying something that gonna put you guys in the hole, in debt, because you said we set goals. So you already have put goals in place where you know I can spend this, it's not gonna hurt us. I can do that. And same with him. I can spend this, and we can travel here, and we can go here, and we can go there. It's not gonna hurt us because it's in the budget,
It's in the
right?
budget,
It's in the
right.
budget. So I love it, and I know you and Clarence have no idea, because you guys are humble people. You don't even give it a second thought. You just do what God told you to do, and you do it with joy. You do it with peace, and you do it because God has led you and have blessed you. Blessed you, I believe, be above and beyond you ever could imagine or think, right? And so with all that, and I know, and I'm asking you the question, how do you guys feel when you're able to give back and when you're able to help others?
And I'm so glad you brought up our pastor, because we just learned so much. He said you can't be God given.
Right.
So hallelujah, amen.
That's right,
So
that's
that
right.
is just something that we just do. We're and I just thank God that He allowed me to find my partner, and we're givers, and we want to give. And good sowing great seeds, and knowing where to sow the seeds are at, where the seeds are. So I don't know. I mean, the Bible says to be a cheerful giver, and so when I give, I'm just so thankful and just know that God, if you could trust me with this,
Wow.
hallelujah. you know,
That's right.
Trust me with this. How
Uh-huh.
much else can you trust me
That's
with?
right.
Because
That's right.
you know I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do with it. So I just thank God for our teachings that we have from our church, because it has truly blessed us. And like he said, we were born to be creative people. We are creative people. We are here to create.
That's right.
And where you see a pastor always said, where you see a problem, that's where you can go to make a solution, and that's how you can become wealthy, and not wealthy for Alfredia and Tanya and Clarence, not even for Christian Tabernacle Church. It's for the whole, the whole body, and so.
And I was going to say, too, because God put people in place, right? He put people in place just for you and Clarence, right? Because you can't help people God got for me. You can't help them, and I don't care how successful you are, what the wealth is. You can't help those people that God put in place for me to help. You can only help those people that God put in place for you to help. And so my audience, and I want them to know that God has people out there waiting for them, right, to step in position. So that they can hear their story, so that they know that they are not alone, because you have done it, you've experienced it, and you can tell them how to get through to the other side, right? And so what I want to ask you is, there's anything that you want to leave, tell my audience before we end. And then just kind of tell them, where you are and how they can reach you and all of that.
Okay, great. One of the things, and I know we've been talking about, and I just want to add this, we've been talking about the monetary part, but we're not, when I say giving, I'm talking about holistically giving. Clarence always, and myself, we say, we've already been through it. You don't need to make the same mistakes that I've made. Your route and your should be easier, because we're there to help. And we just believe all of this is God's. So, it's enough out here for everybody. So if I can help this one and this one, and we can join hands and do it, it's nothing but up from here. So I just want to just say, we're not talking about just monetary. We're talking about intellect. We're just talking about support. We're just talking about it all. Okay? And so I just want to say that never give up. Keep the faith, and don't comparison. That's one thing I want to say. Don't compare to another person, because you don't know where they're at in their journey.
That's right.
Alrighty?
That's right.
But just know what God has for you is for you, and nothing or nobody can take that away. So you be the best you that you can be, and you walk your path, knowing that what God has for you is for you. And I just know that you can do it. Alfredia and I are here. If you have any questions, we want to see you win, because we know that God has instilled it inside of you to be the best version of you that you can be. And so where can you reach me at? Okay. So I am Tanya Archibald. You can look at my website at GreatLakesPropertyManagementGroup.com, and you can follow me on Facebook and on Instagram at Tanya Champion Archibald.
And thanks again, Tanya. I appreciate you and your time. You've been out of the country. You came back, and you just took the time out in your schedule to come in and speak with my audience. And I appreciate it. And I love you and Clarence so much, and I appreciate you. So we'll see you next week.